Hey, it's Ethan, and in this episode we'll be discussing Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. It's the first portable Mario Kart and is also one of my favorite games on the Game Boy Advance in general. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Mario Kart Super Circuit in more detail. Mario Kart Super Circuit was first announced as Mario Kart Advance, but was later officially revealed at Nintendo's Space World event in 2000 alongside the Game Boy Advance system itself as Mario Kart Super Circuit. I don't know, man, Mario Kart Advance seemed like a better title to me personally. Like, what's so Super Circuit about this one? I feel that Mario Kart Advance got the point across better considering the name of the system it was meant for, but I digress. Super Circuit was developed by Intelligent Systems, the same developers behind Advance Wars on the GBA and the Fire Emblem games, which I guess makes sense since Intelligent Systems did develop a lot of Game Boy games, but Mario Kart was always an in-house project developed by Nintendo themselves, so I guess Nintendo was like, how do we get Mario Kart on our new handheld? They say, yeah, the guys who are known for strategy-based action games are perfect for a 2.5D racer, so let's just have them do it instead. But anyway, it ended up being released first in Japan on July 21st, 2001 as Mario Kart Advance actually, but was released as Mario Kart Super Circuit in North America on August 27, 2001, and then on September 14, 2001 in Europe for the Game Boy Advance, and has since been ported to the Virtual Console and Switch Online, and even the iQ player that released only in China. See, as a kid, I always thought Mario Kart DS was the first portable Mario Kart, but in my early teen years, I found out that there was a handheld Mario Kart on the GBA, so I picked it up with my purple Game Boy Advance in the summer of 2019 at a local retro game store, and the rest is history, but I've been wanting to talk about Mario Kart Super Circuit for a while now, so I guess let's see what it's all about. Something about this intro I just really like. I think it's because of how upbeat the music is and the general vibe of it. In the main menu, you have single player, multiplayer, and ghost exchange for time trials, which I'll explain more in a little bit. Pressing single player will bring us to the menu where you can choose between Mario GP, Time Trial, and Quick Run, but let's first discuss the GP mode, where you'll get the option between three speeds, 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc, 50cc being the slowest and 150cc being the fastest, and I don't recommend it since I found it quite difficult on an actual GBA. After selecting your speed, you then go to the character selection screen, where you can choose between Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser with the option of random where the game selects a character for you, and it is also the same character selection from Mario Kart 64. Fun fact, Rare, the developers of the Donkey Kong Country games on SNES, made the model for Donkey Kong in this game, since I guess Nintendo was too busy and couldn't figure out how to draw their own characters for some reason. After that is where you choose which cup you want to play on, and we have the choice between the Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Lightning Cup, Star, and Special Cup, with more tracks being unlocked later, but I'll talk about that in a few minutes. The Mushroom Cup is up first, and we have 4 tracks per cup, with the first one being Peach Circuit. It's really not that special besides a castle in the background and a standard looking racetrack around it. It just feels like a basic Mario Kart track to me. The next track is Shy Guy Beach, and I do like this one quite a bit. I like the general beach aesthetic and I love the music too, but I don't like how the crabs can be spit out and fall into the water, and honestly, we're the shy guys on this beach, but it's an overall good tropical track. Riverside Park is up next, and I haven't got much to say, besides it's a jungle looking level with water and a large jump, but I do like the Donkey Kong inspired music that plays, but besides that, there isn't really that much for me to talk about. The last track in the Mushroom Cup is Bowser Castle 1. Yes, this is one of possibly 6 in this game. I think Intelligent Systems went a little overboard with the amount of Bowser Castles, but there's nothing that interesting to talk about besides maybe the amount of lava and the swamps, but not much besides that. And just like at the end of each cup, you will get placement in your rank overall, just like in the other Mario Kart games. Next up is the Flower Cup. The first track is Mario Circuit, and it's just a flat track with some trees around it, and that's literally it. Nothing too special. Next up is Boo Lake. I like the look of this one and how there's a bunch of dark trees and a big house in the background, but I don't like how you can fall off the edge so easily. Cheese Land is the next track. I get that it's supposed to look like cheese, but with the amount of yellow on screen just kinda hurts my eyes. Like it's hard to tell which direction I'm supposed to be going in sometimes. The last track is Bowser Castle 2, and it's honestly not that exciting, and that's basically the Flower Cup. The next cup is the Lightning Cup, and the first track is the Luigi Circuit, and it's not that interesting, but I do like the rain, so it's probably the best circuit track in the game in my opinion. The next track is Sky Garden, and I do like this one, because the aesthetic is cool with it being up in the clouds, and these vine bridges are pretty neat, and the music is pretty good too on this track. After that track is Cheep Cheep Island. I like its beach look, and it's very similar to Shy Guy Beach from earlier, and I do like the yellow looking sky. The last track in the Lightning Cup is Sunset Wilds, and this is one of my favorites. It takes place in a desert, but each lap you go around will make the sky look darker, and the music is cool as well, but I don't like these crab things, and some mud puddles can slow you down. The next cup after that is the Star Cup. The first track is Snowland, and I generally like the look of the snow-covered mountains, and that's all I've got to say on this track. Ribbon Road is the next track and is one of my favorites. I just really like the look and general vibe of this one, with the ribbon look on the road and the background with all the presents are cool, and it also has some great music too. After that track is Yoshi Desert, and it's an okay track. It's not my favorite, but the pyramids are kind of cool and the music is interesting, but if you get caught in one of the sinkholes, it can really mess you up. The last track is Bowser Castle 3, and I do quite like this one, because it's outside and the purple looking castle is really cool. The final cup is the Special Cup, with the first track being Lakeside Park. This one is okay I guess, with the trees, lake, and the volcano in the background, but it looks and feels too similar to Riverside Park from earlier. Broken Pier is the next course, and I think it's a worse and more annoying version of Boo Lake, but the mountains with the faces are kinda neat looking. Bowser Castle 4 is next, and I kinda like the aesthetic of this one, but most of them feel so similar to each other. Now, the last track is of course Rainbow Road, and I do like this version of Rainbow Road a lot. I do like the sky in the background, and the music is quite good as well, but I don't like how you can fall off the edge so easily, and how it's kinda hard to see what's going on considering how dark it is. This is mainly a problem when playing on a real GBA, but overall, it's not my favorite Mario Kart track selection, but not the worst either, and that's basically Mario Kart Super Circuit's GP mode. But if you get 100 coins in each cup, and yes, for some reason Intelligent Systems decided to bring coins back from Super Mario Kart, which can unlock bonus tracks, and are basically remasters of all the tracks from Super Mario Kart, making the total amount of tracks in the game up to 40, which is pretty impressive considering that this is a handheld game after all. And since I did mention items, pretty much all the items from Mario Kart 64 have returned, like your red and green shells, mushrooms, stars, bananas, boos, and more, and it also controls very similar to Super Mario Kart, but feels a bit better than that in my opinion. Well, what about time trials? They basically act like how they do in other Mario Kart games. You just race against the computer for the best time on each track, and with the Ghost Exchange feature, can exchange data from one system to another. Quick Run allows you to race on any track that you have unlocked, and this is for one specific track, and then you get to choose a different track after that. Mario Kart Super Circuit also has multiplayer, so let's check that out. Well, Super Circuit requires a GBA link cable, which I do not have, and the last time I checked, the Wii U gamepad does not support the thing, damn it. Well, that is basically Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance, and overall, I gotta say, it's a pretty decent Mario Kart, even though half of the tracks are literally just remasters from Super Mario Kart. But I think it's honestly really neat that this ended up being the first portable Mario Kart, because most people believe that Mario Kart DS was actually the first portable Mario Kart. But overall, it's a pretty solid racer for the Game Boy Advance, and it's definitely worth your time if you've never played it before. But honestly, who thought it was a good idea to bring the coins back?